I tell them pretty much it's an economic decision. It's not a, who's going to better exploit my copyrights. Now, that's a little bit different down here than it is in L.A. In L.A. and New York, most artists who write their own material, it's material that only that artist can do or will do. So it's not like I'm going to make a deal with a publisher for my songs and they're going to go out and get other artists to cover my songs, which means, record them for them. That just doesn't happen in the rock pop world. I mean, everyone pretty much does their own material. So why would you do a publishing? You do it because you need money. You can hire people for very low fees to just collect the income, do the administrative functions. So that's really not an argument. But you really do publishing, sell your publishing for money, support, so you have income when you're starting off your career. Now, in Nashville, it's a little bit different in that most of the artists do outside songs. If you look at the list of every hit on the charts, it's unusual, quite honestly, to see artists who do their own material. Now, it's gotten less so in the last 5, 6, 7 years, but there's still a huge number of songs that are recorded, easily the majority of them, that are written by other people. So here, if you give up your publishing as a new artist and you actually write songs that someone else could record, there is a chance that publisher may go out and get you a cover and make more money for you. So it's not strictly an economic decision down here, but it's still predominantly one. So that you do a publishing deal when you're young because you need the money. It's not so much because you think this publisher is going to do all these great things with your songs. Mm-hmm. There's always the exception to the rule. Every once in a while, there's a publisher out there that really is a great publisher that really maybe will help that writer write his songs, et cetera, et cetera. And that's unusual. But most of the time, it's an economic decision. You want to get to a publisher that actually can help get you covers. I mean, that's the key. And if you talk to songwriters down here, most of them will tell you, at least they always tell me, that they get most of their own covers. That they, by hanging out with their friends and or another songwriter who happens to know an artist who's recording, it's always like, through these various sources. It's rarely where the publisher went into this producer's office, said that you got to record this song for Alan Jackson's next record. We think it's a hit. I mean, that does happen. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. And if you talk to publishers, it happens every day. But every time I talk to writers about it, the writers at least I work with, I always say, did your publisher get you a lot of covers? Have they really generated a lot of income for you? And most often than not, they say, not really. I get most of them. I've done it myself. I brought it in. The guy just really collects my money, pays me a nice, weekly salary or biweekly, whatever it is. And that's why I have a publisher. Mm-hmm. It's interesting. Now, I think that's probably more true with the bigger writers. If you in this town hit a certain level where you're known, then you really probably don't need a publisher because all the labels are coming to you every time they have a new artist. I mean, they just pound you for the hits. So you probably can do your own publishing once you're known and not have to, rely on one of the majors for a publishing deal. But if you're a young writer, I think the money you need, B, they probably do get some covers here and there, and C, they give you the facilities, they help put you together with other writers. To me, that's probably one of their biggest sources of assistance, is if they can if you're a brand new writer and maybe you've had one minor hit or something and you get a deal with one of the majors, they can put you in all these various writing relationships, just because they have other big writers and they say, look, why don't we set you up as so-and-so, why don't we set you up as so-and-so. That could be a really productive thing for your career.